I was born in Mexico, and I lived in a community where the family was very close. We lived close to aunts and uncles and cousins. Uh, Unfortunately, my father was having many issues of his own and was quite irresponsible. And he abandoned my mother and 5 children. I was 6 years old at the time, and when I was 7, we immigrated to the United States, where my mother found some refuge with her parents and other family members. As a result of growing up without a father, without an earthly father, I had a difficult connection, making connection to my heavenly Father. And so throughout my life, as a child, as a teenager, and even as an adult, I struggled to make those connections. And those connections, as hard as I would try to make in my own life, I made a lot of mistakes. And as a result of those mistakes, there were many storms. I lived in a pretty rough neighborhood in Chicago called the Lawndale area. And I started to attend a church there when I was 13 years old. The pastor of the church made a proposal that he could make a connection that I would be able to attend a private high school in Indiana if I chose to do that. And so after speaking it over with my mother and my family, we decided that that would be a good move for me. I didn't know at the time what God was asking me to do. I later discovered that that was a huge move, because what he was asking me to do was not only to move, but he was also asking me to leave my family. He was asking me to leave the people that I truly love. He was asking me the home where I was very comfortable. He asked me to leave things that I was connected to and things that were comforting to me. And I was going to a land in the state of Indiana that was very much different than what I had grown up with. I then went on to college, and in Goshen College, I was there for all 4 years and prepared to become a teacher. Mabel and I were married very young. We worked together, we struggled together, and through that struggle we met a lot of issues. Being a very young couple and struggling with going to school and finances and so on.
Well, here was this man, Catholic from Chicago, marrying this white Amish girl from Elkhart County. I mean, and we were very young, 19 and 20. So that presented challenges of itself. So God had a lot of maturing and growing up that he wanted to do in us. It was difficult to move. You're leaving friends and leaving family, jobs, neighbors. So yeah, in that sense it was difficult, but also when God has a calling for you, it's much more uncomfortable to stay where you are and disobey than it is to go.
Sometimes we go far enough to say that, yeah, God would want me to have this nice house. God would want me to have this nice car. He would like me to have this nice career. He would like me to have this lake cottage. He would like me to have this nice boat. And a lot of people have those things. But I think it's much more important to think God would have me to do his work. And that may mean not having some of those comfortable things. Mm-hmm. And we've had the comfortable things. And we're saying we'd rather do something that is significant than something that is successful. And in my job that I have, I need to do and follow God's will. And so long as that is his will, then I'm not necessarily responsible for the results. But I do need to do what he wants me to do. He will take care of the results. God has always been present in my life, even when I don't feel it. God was present when I was born. He was present when I lived in Mexico, when I went to school, God was present when I left home. And even though it was uncomfortable for me and I was learning new things and experiences, He was always present. He was present during my storms. He was present in my changes. He was always present, and even though I didn't feel Him. And even when I felt that I could rely on myself and didn't need anyone, He was present. And He allowed me to fail. He allowed me to do that so that I may learn from that. And He has shown me tremendous grace. And through that grace, He has shown me there's a different way. And that if I trust Him and I have faith in Him, He will do ultimately what is best for me. And I think that that's probably the message that I would leave.